About 10 years ago, I would not be open to this information. No, I think I would be open to it, but I wouldn't be as receptive to it, perhaps. Listening to Bach cello sonatas. They're so hauntingly beautiful. I highly recommend them. If you have any thinking to do, if you want to become more creative and reflect, always listen to classical music or frequencies. There are so many good apps that you can listen to. But I want to share this clip of Santos Bonacci with you about the story of Pinocchio and his thesis of the original manifestation of the story, which I think is quite believable. We can believe whatever we want despite what your government tells you to believe. Of course, I had to insert that into this video. Okay, let's play Santos.
Know about the pineal gland. I had a lot of messages yesterday because a lot of people watched your show with that young woman the other day.
So, the pineal gland is the third eye. When you read the story of Pinocchio, Pinocchio has two words: pine, P-I-N, pineal gland, and occhio is ocular. Occhio in Italian is eye. That's why you go to an oculist. So Pinocchio means the pineal gland. So Pinocchio is a puppet. It is not a real person. In order to become a real person, to ascend, you have to activate your pineal gland. You have to stop telling lies. And everyone sees your nose grow every time you tell a lie. You have to stop being deceived by your friends. You have to stop going to the circuses and the shows, as all the philosophers have ever said, getting drunk, intoxicated with drugs, and to be sober. And so Pinocchio made it. Yes, he got fooled, he got seduced, he didn't go to school. His friends turned him into swine, but they remained swine. Just like Ulysses' friends, they didn't return back to Ithaca, to Thracia, rather. With him, he was the only one that returned, but all his friends turned into swine. So the pineal gland is the third eye, and it's our highest consciousness. So if you want to be real, just read the story of Pinocchio and activate your Pinocchio.
Wasn't that interesting? The pineal gland is your third eye. Fluoride calcifies your third eye. The pineal gland also has crystalline structures in it. And I think that fluoride probably clouds the crystalline structures, maybe even congeals them so they can't reflect on life. You become clouded, closed. It makes total sense. Santos Bonacci has a flat earth opinion that may turn some people off, but I take what resonates with me personally and I move on. I have not looked into the flat earth theory at all, but I am open to all theories because just about everything we've been taught has been proven to be false. And as we awaken, these false beliefs fall and we become more whole. By spreading the truth, you are not being negative. In fact, you are shining a flashlight into the darkness. And for human beings, it's been very, very difficult for us, for me, for many people that I've known throughout my life, to shed that darkness, to shed that negativity, because we've been enshrined in that negativity for our whole entire lives. And it feels almost foreign to be positive. It could feel boring. It could feel unexciting. It could feel like you're not adequately bonding, because trauma bonding has become so prevalent in relationships. And I know when I was in my 20s, I remember I had this friend named Sue who was a massage therapist, and I met her at the gym that I was working at in White Plains, New York. And I remember being darker, melancholic. I don't think I ever suffered severe depression, but I think that in an artistic journey, a creative's journey, you tend to identify more with the dark because you feel like it produces your best content. And I went to school for writing, and I was writing and I was tapping into like the deepest parts of myself. And the last 3.5 years, I've broken open. I've gone through a considerable amount of change. And with that change, I remembered riding with Sue when I was in my 20s and thinking, oh my God, I just want to like throat punch her. She's just so positive. It's like so boring. Like I couldn't stand to be around it sometimes. And I didn't understand why I was feeling that way. And I remember it now because I'm in such a different frame of mind. And through this trauma, this global trauma that we've all been put through, you had two choices. You could either grow, or you could either keep believing the trauma-based mind control programming that was thwarted upon us continuously through their guerrilla marketing campaigns, through your program box, your television. And you could distract yourself with your breads and circuses and your coping mechanisms, your dumbing down yourself, thus closing your pineal gland. And he talks about drinking, drugging, which so many people have turned to in this time of global crisis, of the thwarting of evil for nefarious purposes. And in order to manifest a light-filled life, what you want, what matches your frequency, you have to maintain a certain level of optimism. No matter how fake it feels, this is necessary. This is necessary for growth. This is necessary for manifestation. This is necessary for awakening. And in the face of such profound negativity and evil, it is hard to find that part of yourself. It's either you dig your head in the sand and you deny it and you comply, or you fucking fly. And I've chosen to fly. And it's been a back and forth journey. It's never constant. You take 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. And all this esoteric information and knowledge that is out there now is unclear about the awakening, about ascension, human ascension, which Santos mentions. Ascension is essentially sitting in yourself, becoming your whole self, without the distractions, without the programming. We've always had this innate ability, this primal ability to learn, to move, to be better. But we're so addicted to this consumer culture that lends itself to self-hatred, competition. And while I am a capitalist, absolutely, I do not subscribe to mass consumerism. Where I subscribe to consumerism, and I'm not saying that I'm better than you, but where I spend my dollars is on my health, is on quantum healing, is on going to scalar energy healing rooms, to getting natural supplements to enhance my health, exercise, outdoors, riding my mountain bike, feeling free, unencumbered. I do not spend my money on clothes. I have worn the same clothes. Oh man, I have the same running shorts I've had for 20 years. I wear the same 2 pairs to the gym, and ask me if I give a flying fuck what anybody thinks. It's unimportant. I'm not buying into the matrix consumer culture. I'm buying into myself, which is what I'm asking every single one of you to do. Buy into yourself. Invest in yourself. And that's the only way we can become a better culture, a better society. The culture that has been thrust upon us is so garbage, is so trash, is so beneath us and our potential. Turn off your televisions, turn off the negative Hertzian music that's been thrust upon us to send our bodies into chaos. You see these videos, right, whereby they put salt on a platform and they play frequencies, and the frequencies change the construct of the water in your body. We are 80% water, I believe. If my statistics are off, forgive me. But the body is comprised mostly of water. And water can be programmed, can be patterned in such a way to promote peace and wellness and prosperity. So trust in what happens in your life. And if something doesn't flow exactly the way it should, understand that it's not meant to. It's not matching your frequency. And just continue to be happy. Don't respond to something that doesn't go exactly your way with a negative approach. When I say that, I think of the band Negative Approach. It's a hardcore band from the 80s. And I love that song. I think I covered it on this channel. Yes, you can love punk rock and still be, awake. You can still be spiritual and still be cool. The two aren't mutually inexclusive or exclusive. I don't know. My ADHD won't let me totally think about that association, and I'm fine with it. My brain just works a little bit differently than other people, and it doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. I also remember this guy from my 20s. His name was Danny. And Danny was handsome and so chill. And I used to say to my friend Kathleen, man, Danny, I can't get a read on him. He doesn't stand for anything. He doesn't have any edges. I feel him so difficult. I need an edge to hold on to, right? And what I was saying is I need some negativity to hold on to. I need to trauma bond with him. And because he's not trauma bonding with me, he's uncomfortable for me. And that's not the case. That's like when you're in the dark, when you're in your darkness. And now I understand Danny was an elevated being in my life in my 20s. He was so profoundly peaceful and so handsome and so I often wonder where Danny is today. And unfortunately, my friend Kathleen, who I've been friends with forever, has bought into the darkness, the global darkness, the global scam, the programming, and no longer wants to speak to me because I don't believe in this. And she's one of the kindest human beings I've ever met. But I can't change it. You have to flow. You have to go with it. You can't control. Those of us who found ourselves to be very controlling at a point in our lives, which I was a form of survival, was a coping mechanism. And when you have had a somewhat chaotic childhood, you become controlling, right? Because it feels like you're controlling a part, controlling the world, who's largely uncontrollable, and it's a way to cope. And so the old me would have kept trying to win her over, tried to deprogram her. I tried very gently to share some truth with her, and she's not willing to receive it. And that's okay. I can love her from afar, and I keep flowing. And that's all we can do. We have to keep flowing. And the more positivity we feel inside, despite outward circumstances not going our way, the more we change the frequency and the vibration of the planet, of the world, and the more we destroy the louche energy for the evil forces which are trying to enslave us. I know it sounds fucking crazy, okay? I know. I don't care at this point. Nothing could be crazier than what I experience on the mainstream media every day, and the deleterious and disastrous policies I see coming out of our WH in Washington, D.C. Nothing can be crazier than that. I can't sound crazy because what they're doing is absolutely destructive and insane. So if you can comprehend how destructive and insane everything that is happening is, then you can grasp what I am saying, right? There is a correlation. There is knowledge and wisdom to be had at this point in time. You have to work for it. You have to go inside of yourself and stop overextending yourself to other people, to ideas that no longer serve you. Let it fall away. I think these last 2 years have shown you that you are stronger than you ever realized. Congratulations. Keep working on being positive. Keep looking into manifestation. It is our universal right. It is within universal laws. Don't fall for the divide, but don't force yourself on others either. But keep sharing your truth in whatever way suits you. I share it on social media platforms. And although it may be negative information, it matters why I'm sharing it. I'm sharing it to wake people up, to save lives, to stop global, what is that? Global enslavement. I'm trying in my own way, without directly offending somebody within a conversation, to save lives. And that is the most profoundly unselfish and loving thing that you can do at this moment in time.